Hello guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to another Premier League predictions video. Today we are predicting the Premier League games in midweek, and there's some big games coming up, some massive games. Now today I'm not physically joined by a guest, but I have got a guest to send in their videos, so later in the video my mate will be sending in his predictions. So let's get straight into them. Starting off with a London derby, Crystal Palace versus West Ham. Oh, this will be interesting. I think West Ham have really impressed me lately. I did a live stream for their game against Doncaster, and although Doncaster are from League One, West Ham played really well, and that wasn't even their first team. And in the league, West Ham are flying. Things are looking really good for West Ham. As for Palace, they're okay. I think they'll be safe this season, but probably not pushing too much towards the top half. So I'm going to lean towards a 1-0 win to West Ham here, but it might be a tight game. The next game we have is Newcastle versus Leeds. Now both teams need a result. Newcastle, there's a lot of pressure on Steve Bruce at the moment. I know their fans want him to go, even if they do get a result here. I think they're just sick of Steve Bruce's style of football. And as for Leeds United, although they've got off to a brilliant start this season, their recent results haven't been great. They've let in a few goals and they're struggling to score at the moment. So I'm going to lean towards a draw in this one. Both teams will probably want to win it, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I'm going to go straight down the middle. We'll see what happens with that game. The next game then is Southampton versus Arsenal. Now these two played each other in the FA Cup at the weekend. Southampton winning 1-0 from that own goal from Gabriel, and I'm going to back Arsenal this time. I think although Southampton beat them at the weekend, I think Arsenal's league form has been impressive, and now they're out the FA Cup, they can put all their concentration back into the league for now. And I'm going to back Arsenal to win 1-0 this time. But Southampton are a very good team and it won't be easy, so I'm expecting a good game there. The next game then is West Bromwich Albion versus Manchester City. Now this is, God, this could get messy. Obviously West Brom improving a little bit under Sam Allardyce. They picked up their win against Wolves. They only narrowly lost to West Ham last week, but against Man City you kind of worry for West Brom. And especially with that Man City defence, I don't think many teams are going to be able to break through that. I'm going to back a Man City win here. I'm going to go West Brom 0, Man City 2. But it could be worse than that. So, West Brom fans, I don't know what you're thinking of that game, but it might be a bit of a write-off. The next game then is on the Wednesday. It's Burnley versus Aston Villa. This should be interesting. Both teams come into this with quite a few good results. Well, on the back of quite a few good results. Burnley obviously beat Liverpool at Anfield. What a result that was. And then they've just beaten Fulham 3-0 in the FA Cup, so they are really starting to do quite well at the moment, Burnley. Who knows if they could go on a bit of a cup run. They go up against Villa, who are out the FA Cup, but their last league result was a win against Newcastle at the weekend. And Villa still have a chance of maybe finishing in the top 6 this season. I mean, if they're feeling optimistic, maybe the top 4. They've got a few games in hand. But I'm not sure what to think. They're both quite good at the moment. I'm just going to lean towards Villa. I think Villa have just been a bit more consistent this season. I'm going to say Burnley 0, Aston Villa 1. The next game then is between Chelsea and Wolves. Now Chelsea obviously sacked Frank Lampard yesterday. I don't know what to think of that. They're obviously going to look at getting a new manager in. It looks like they're going to get that former PSG manager in. But Wolves, they're not in great form either. I really don't know what to think about this game. I'm going to go down the middle just because both teams come into this with kind of inconsistent forms. I'm going to say Chelsea 1, Wolves 1. Could go either way, and I think both teams need a win for their confidence. The next game then is Brighton versus Fulham. What a game this is. This is a relegation 6-pointer this. Now Fulham, they've shown signs that they can survive this season, but they're still in that bottom 3 and they need to ideally win this game to cut the gap on Brighton. As for Brighton, they'll probably want to win to extend the gap. God, it's so hard. Both teams have looked good at points this season. I'm going to back Fulham. I'm going to say 1-0 to Fulham here. I'm going to say that Fulham are going to close the gap. I'm going to say Brighton 0, Fulham 1. The next game then is between Everton and Leicester City. Now Leicester City, they're looking very impressive at the moment, but this is a tough game. Everton, obviously, very solid recently. They won 3-0 against Wednesday in the FA Cup at the weekend. So it's not going to be easy, but I'm still going to back Leicester. I'm going to say Everton 1, Leicester 2. James Maddison is in real good form for Leicester at the moment. He could maybe be the difference between Leicester making I don't know, maybe the top 4 or even more. Who knows what Leicester can do this season. But I'm going to back Leicester on that one. And the next game on the Wednesday is Manchester United versus Sheffield United. This is another game where it could get a bit messy. Sheffield United, bottom of the table. Doing okay in the FA Cup, to be fair to them, but in the league, it is a bit of a write-off this season, isn't it? They do look like they're going down. They're bottom of the table, and Manchester United aren't going to have... Oh, God. I don't know what to say. I'm going to back United and say 2-0. I think Sheffield United might try and keep the score down, but it could be worse than that. But I'm saying Man United 2-0. And then the last game, this is a big one on the Thursday. Tottenham Hotspur versus Liverpool. Now, Liverpool beat them earlier in the season 2-1, but Liverpool's form coming into this makes you think, oh God, this could go either way. And you're kind of leaning towards Spurs. Spurs won 4-1 in the FA Cup on the Monday against Wycombe Wanderers. Gosh. I'm going to say Tottenham 0, Liverpool 0. But I don't know, I mean, people might disagree with that, but I'm saying a goalless draw there. I'm going to hand over to my mate Leon, otherwise known as LeeFC on YouTube. Make sure to check his account out. I'll leave it down in the description, and he's going to give you his predictions. Here you go.
Hello to everyone on the Matt SB channel. Thank you for watching this video. Now, I'm just going to give my Premier League predictions for the fixtures midweek. So, starting off with Crystal Palace versus West Ham. Both teams, I think, in previous seasons, you probably favour Crystal Palace to get results. I think sometimes Roy Hodgson can just come up with a bit of a masterstroke in tactics against teams such as West Ham, but also against top 6 teams at the time. But you know what? I'm going to back West Ham for a win here. I think they've been in such good form, and especially against the other teams lower down in the table, they seem to be picking up results a lot more consistently. So I'm going to back West Ham. I'm going to go for a West Ham 3-1 win. Now next on to Newcastle versus Leeds. Both teams kind of just going through a bit of a poor run, probably Newcastle more so than Leeds. Have Leeds run out of steam? I wouldn't have thought so just yet. I think they can still bring it back, and I think they'll still continue to play good football. And they pretty much smashed Newcastle the last time out at Ellen Road. So I'm going to back another Leeds win. I'm going to go for Leeds 3-0 away to Newcastle. Next is Southampton versus Arsenal, a game which was just recently played in the FA Cup and not too long ago in the Premier League when Southampton managed to get a 1-1 draw away at the Emirates. I think I'm going to back another Southampton win for this one. I think that despite going really strong at the weekend, I think they'll come away from that with real confidence going to the game. So I'm going to back a 2-1 Southampton win. Now, next up, we have got West Brom. They are at home to Manchester City. Really tough game for West Brom. Can't see them getting too much out of it. I think Sam Allardyce he's going about things the right way. They got a fantastic win away at Wolves the other week. But sadly, I think City are just going to be too strong. But I don't think will be as clinical or as creative as they are missing Kevin De Bruyne. So I'm going to go City 2-0 win. Now on the Wednesday night fixtures, we start with Burnley. They are at home to a very, very good looking Aston Villa side. Villa in plenty of hot form at the moment. Despite losing 2-0 to City, they were very, very impressive in the game. Possibly, if their decision was making was a little better, they could have won that game or certainly gone ahead in the game. But Burnley had a really good win in the FA Cup at the weekend, and also an extremely good result away to Anfield, breaking Liverpool's unbeaten run at Anfield. So I think I'm going to call a draw for this one. I'm going to go for a 1-1 between Burnley and Aston Villa. Now next up, my team Chelsea. They are at home to Wolves, and will that or will it not be the new reign of Thomas Tuchel? I think he'll need Chelsea to hit the ground running, and I think that's exactly what they'll do. I'm going to go for a Chelsea. I'm going to go 2-0 to Chelsea, same as last season on the final day when we needed to get Champions League football. 2-0 it will be. Next is Brighton versus Fulham. Both teams, once again, a mixture of form. Fulham do look to be on the up, but received quite a bad defeat to Burnley in the FA Cup at the weekend. So who knows? I can't remember exactly if Scott Parker was resting a few to kind of focus on this game, because this really is this is a game for relegation places. You'd think anyway, but I'm going to go for another draw. I think this could be a 0-0 this game. I can't see it being too interesting. Next up is Everton versus Leicester, a potential decider maybe for who could potentially finish in the top 4 or top 6. I think both teams definitely have a very good chance to finish there this season. And you know what? I'm going to go for another draw for this one. I think Leicester will be missing Jamie Vardy, but Everton just really haven't looked themselves over the last couple of games. They've been struggling a little bit. They got a good win in the FA Cup against Sheffield Wednesday, but I don't think that'll be enough to kind of boost their confidence for this game. So I'm going to go for another draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And then that brings us to Manchester United, the other fixture on the Wednesday evening. Now, Man United in such a good vein of form recently, beating Liverpool in the FA Cup, getting a draw away at Anfield. I can't see anything else other than a United win. Yeah, I'm going to back United to be strong here. Fernandes was rested against Liverpool, came on, scored the winner. I'm going to think he's going to score some goals here as well. I'm going to go United 4, Sheffield United 0. And then last but not least, that brings us on to Spurs. They are at home to Liverpool. This could be possibly Liverpool's biggest fixture of the season so far. There's no question about it. This really could define if they are in a title race or not, as they've got City in their sights. They're not too far away. The game, I think, at Anfield is only in a couple of weeks or so. But yeah, I think Spurs will have a bit of confidence. They've been on quite a quiet little run recently. They've been winning games, and it's kind of going unnoticed a little bit. So could Jose be just starting to work his magic more towards the business end of the season? I think he will in this game. I'm going to back a Spurs victory. I'm going to go for a Spurs 3-1 win. Well, that concludes my predictions on the channel. Once again, thank you, Matt, for having me. Please remember to subscribe to Matt. He does fantastic content, and also drop a like on this video. Don't you dare not like it. Please drop a like and subscribe. Cheers, Matt. Over to you.
Cheers for joining the channel today, Leon. I really appreciate those predictions. Make sure, like I said, guys, to check his account out down in the description. Lee FC, great YouTuber, up-and-coming YouTuber. But that is our predictions for the Premier League games in midweek. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.